Hello, everyone. I'd like to start by thanking Admissions for allowing me to give this speech. I think it's a great example of the many fantastic opportunities you can take advantage of here at Alfred University, even as a first-year student. I'm excited to be speaking with you all today because about 1 year ago, I was you. It's kind of like when someone poses that hypothetical, what would you do if you could go back in time and have a conversation with yourself a year ago today? Except it's not a hypothetical and it's real. So what would I say? Something I was very excited about when coming to college was freedom. We love you, Mom and Dad, but some of us are looking forward to leaving home. But freedom is a double-edged sword. In Spider-Man, the late Uncle Ben once said, with great power comes great responsibility. Something I realized quickly when I got here was that with your newfound freedom, the path you take is now in your hands. I went to a small high school. My graduating class was 55 students, so I constantly had someone keeping me in check. But college is different. Now it's up to me how tenacious I am when it comes to my career and academics. If I don't want it, then I don't get it. I struggled with this for a while. I was worried that I didn't have the motivation or drive to be successful. But as time went on, I found ways to motivate myself. It's important to start thinking about how you can keep yourself motivated when there's not someone around constantly keeping you accountable. When I first got to school, the way that colleges organize their schedule confused me. I was used to having classes back to back from 7:40 a.m. to 2:32 p.m. every day. Now, it changed every day. I had gaps in my schedule where I could do anything I wanted. I was not prepared for that amount of freedom. Nobody really wants to use their hour gap between classes to study for other classes. I had to find the motivation to do that on my own. Think about how important your education is to you. Make sure it's important enough to prioritize. But this leads me to my next point. It's important to make the distinction between being good at school and being good at life. Something else I struggled with is that now it was my job to do simple things that often got overlooked, like do my laundry, clean my room, wake up on time, stay organized. That was all on me. I found calendar apps are the real sleeper organization method. You get notice 30 minutes before events, so I put all my classes in there before the semester, and it makes everything so much easier. No more sleeping through important classes. It's common to overlook the impact New Freedom has on your lifestyle, so make sure to stay focused and learn how to block out distractions. But don't get scared. Don't get me wrong. College is not all scary responsibilities. There will and should be time that you leave open for fun with your new friends. More than likely, you'll find something new that you love and enjoy. If there's one thing I learned in my first semester here at Alfred, it's that there's something here for everybody. This leads me to my next piece of advice, which is be a sponge. As scientists, we believe knowledge is nothing without it being shared. You are about to be placed in an environment with a lot of very smart people in a very close proximity to one another. It's very important that you take advantage of this. I noticed something really cool the other day. I decided I wanted to go to a research presentation that Corning was giving. That happens often here. I figure I wouldn't really be able to understand all of their doctorate level research techniques and lingo. This was pretty much what it was like for all those types of events that I went to. But why would I spend my free time going to a lecture or a presentation that I don't even understand? Well, as I got halfway through this most recent presentation, I realized I actually kind of did understand what they were talking about. This made me excited because all those times I sat in those lectures trying my best to decipher the coded language that they were speaking, it was actually starting to pay off. But of course, paying attention in my classes helped too. My point is, places like Alfred University bring opportunities to you. Your job is to surround yourself with the right people. whether it be a peer with exceptional study habits, a professor that has experience in the field you're interested in, or a lecture about something you don't even really understand. This is what will lead you to be successful in your first year. College is a very weird time in our lives. We're starting a new life in a new environment full of new people, especially in your first year. It's natural that in this process we feel some discomfort. Take my example from earlier. Have you ever been in a room where people are talking about something that happened and they were all there for it, but you weren't, so you really have no idea what they're talking about? Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. But I'm here to tell you that this discomfort is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Yes, this phase of our lives is filled with new and intimidating things, but what if those things didn't need to be so intimidating? What if those things were interesting rather, or even exciting? I encourage you to prepare for the discomfort now. Prepare to embrace and conquer it with confidence. Remember when your parents and elementary school teachers taught you how important it was to make friends and to share? Well, college is when making friends starts to become beneficial in a more professional way. For example, instead of making friends with a 5-year-old, you're making friends with a grad student with connections in the industry or field you want to pursue, or starting undergraduate research with a professor who has a PhD in the field that you want to pursue. Speaking from personal experience, I currently do undergraduate research in the Space Materials Institute. It's been a great experience, full of fun and useful information and skills. But how did I get involved as a first-year student? It's actually really easy here. I went to an event like this one about 2 years ago, before I was in college, and while I was there, SMI was doing an electron microscope demonstration. Well, I was the only one that showed up, and the guy running it was actually very much involved in the research I'm a part of now. You can imagine my excitement when one day during my first semester, I run into him between classes. We connected, and now I'm doing research. It's that easy. Do you see what I'm getting at, though? They're all here at the same time, every day, on a single street. So if you haven't already, start getting good at making friends now, and take the time to build your network early. The last thing I want to touch on before I wrap up is mental health. This is very important. I wanted to make sure I put this in here. I strongly believe in mental health. When I first got to school, I was unaware of how important it was to keep tabs on how you're doing emotionally. Things can build up without you realizing, and then hard times, then they come and you don't realize it until they're there, and that can be hard. But I'm here to reassure you that there are things that you do, and you probably already do, that can negate these hard times. This is why it's so important to take time for yourself. Read a book, meditate, practice mindfulness, watch a show, or you could do what I do and scroll on Instagram Reels for way too long. But anything that will recenter you, it's very important to keep tabs on your mental health. If there's one thing that I hope you take away from this speech, it's that success in your first year is more than just academics. It's about your overall experience, how you balance your education with achieving your end goal in life. It's about growing socially by making new friends in both the professional and casual setting. It's about experiencing new things and in turn finding new interests. It's about growing spiritually and finding new ways to manage stress and anxiety. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, let's give it up for Mike one more time.